Hello friends and welcome. My name is Dr. Heather Cardin and I will be your specialist live today to help answer all your questions that you have about ketones, ketosis, and all our amazing Pruvit technology. So as you're joining, let me know where you're joining from, what city, what state, what part of the world. I'm going to share a couple minutes about myself, a couple minutes about what ketones are and what they are not, and then we're going to get right down to business, your questions that you have about our amazing Pruvit technology. If you're brand new to the Pruvit community, you just joined this page in the last 30 days, put a number 1 down below. We want to give you a nice big Pruvit warm welcome. So again, my name is Dr. Heather Cardin. I am the co-owner of Cardin Center for Wellness in Overland Park, Kansas, right in the middle of USA. I have been practicing alongside my husband for 25 years at Cardin Center for Wellness as a functional style of doctor of functional medicine. I have been with this amazing Pruvit community since they opened in 2015 when we only had one flavor of pure therapeutic exogenous ketone, which was the Orange Dream, before we had any of these amazing products, before we had the Reboot kit, before we had the 24 Fast, before we had the Mitoplex, before we had the Keto Kreme, when we had just, well, I'm not going to say just, but when we had only the amazing pure therapeutic exogenous ketone. So maybe you're brand new. What are ketones? Ketones are a natural energy fuel source. We actually come into this world actually as newborn babies burning fat for fuel. And when you're burning fat for fuel instead of sugar for fuel, that means you're in a state called ketosis. If you're actually on a low carb diet, or maybe you've actually not eaten for a while, you've fasted, or maybe you're consuming a diet that's high in fat, moderate proteins, and low in carbohydrate, which is called the ketogenic diet, or very low carb diet, that's actually, again, you're burning fat for fuel in that state. Or if you've gone a period where you've actually burned through all your glucose and glycogen, maybe you're an endurance runner, and you've actually maybe, again, gone fasting, or maybe you had a dental procedure done or something else done where you didn't consume or refeed any carbohydrates, or maybe you just refed on some fats, then your body is actually burning fat for fuel. And when that happens and your body runs through the glucose or glycogen that you have stored, you have enough stored for a couple of days, then your body is so smart, it knows what to do. It actually taps into your stored fat and uncouples the fat and breaks it down into molecules called ketones. We actually have 3 separate ketones: beta hydroxybutyrate, acetoacetate, and acetone. The ketones that we have in our amazing Pruvit products is a beta hydroxybutyrate. I'll refer to it as BHB. It is the most abundant, it's the most energy supplying ketone that we have in our body. So it is natural to our body. So when we say that Pruvit has the world's only pure therapeutic exogenous ketone, that means we have the only one in the world that's bioidentical to what our body makes. So when you shake it up in a mixer with, again, one package with about 12 to 16 ounces of water, when you drink it, your body absolutely knows what it is. It's bioidentical to what we make. So your body cells actually take it right up, says that's the energy that I know. It takes it up into the cells and your body uses it instantly. You don't have to wait for it to be broken down. You don't have to wait for your body to actually uncouple it. It is absorbed instantly within your body. So you drink one serving within about 20 to 30 minutes. You put your body in that amazing state of ketosis in less than 59 minutes. You don't have to change your diet. You can choose to be vegan, vegetarian, paleo, keto, low carb, any diet that you choose, and will put your body in that state of therapeutic ketosis, which means that level will be high enough for your body is metabolically burning fat for fuel. So hopefully that is a brief explanation of ketosis. We know ketones are a superior fuel to glucose because it lasts longer, up to 4 hours. We also know it delivers about 38% more oxygen per molecule than glucose. Also is about 33% more efficient fuel source than glucose. So it's a far superior energy source than glucose. So a lot more benefits, better energy for your brain, better fuel for your brain, delivering more cognition, better memory, better recall, better digestion, and better sleep, better moods, better skin. So many amazing things can happen when your body's in that metabolic state of ketosis when you're burning fat for fuel. But let's get right down to your questions today. If you're just joining, let us know where you're joining from. I am coming to you live from Kansas City. If you just completed our December reboot, please put reboot down below. If you completed our 10-day challenge, let us know that you completed our December challenge. We want to celebrate you each and every time. So hello, hello, hello. And if you haven't noticed, what our social media does is that they actually post a post and say, hey, we've got a live coming up on Wednesday, 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you can't join us, go ahead and submit your questions, or be sure to have your questions answered by submitting those. So I've got a list of questions I'm actually going to start with from people who submitted these in the last 24 hours. The first one was, can ketones cause leg cramps? So the answer is they don't directly cause leg cramps. However, if you're actually dehydrated, one of the signs of dehydration can be leg cramps. If you're actually not drinking enough water, we know ketones have a natural diuretic effect, help pull water and toxins out of fat cells. One of the signs of dehydrations can be leg cramps. And if you've actually been drinking ketones for 1 or 2 or 3 months and you've seen the scale have changed, you've seen maybe your body has been shrinking, your body composition has changed, maybe you have more energy and now you're getting back to the gym, and as you see your body composition change, that fat starts to fall off of you. The fat also pulls out some essential electrolytes like magnesium, potassium, sodium. As those things get potentially depleted, that can cause cramping. So secondarily, yes, when you drink ketones and you feel more energetic and you're running, you're moving more, you're maybe having some fat falling off of you, you can secondarily get some cramps. That's why you want to actually make sure you're drinking at least half your body's weight in water, and then making sure you're adding some Mitoplex, which is our upgraded electrolytes, to that. 1 to 2 to 3 servings a day, just depending on your activity level, depending on your environment. If you're a hot, sweaty environment, or even a really cold environment, you still lose a lot of water through your skin. You can also take a nice Epsom salt bath to help rehydrate yourself. Maybe you just got a new infrared sauna and you've been using the sauna and sweating a whole bunch. That will also be caused to use another serving of electrolytes. If you just completed the Reboot kit and you found yourself using the restroom even more, that would be another reason to increase your electrolytes. You can also always go with your primary healthcare physician and have your magnesium and your comprehensive or basic metabolic panel checked, and that will be checking your sodium, your potassium, your whole electrolytes. It's a very simple, easy blood draw that your physician can actually check just to see if your electrolytes are off. And that can happen when you're on a ketogenic or low carb diet, or when you're drinking exogenous ketones, if you're not drinking enough water, or anytime you're losing 10 to 20 to 30 pounds of fat. So that would be a normal process for anyone who's losing any amount of weight. So Patricia says, what is a good number of ketones to know if you're burning fat for fuel? So I think she's asking, what is your level? So there's 3 different ways to actually check if you're in ketosis, if you want to do a little more objective data. You can either check your urine. So urine will either be a strip that's multicolored from either a 0 color up to a dark purple. So you want to be a little bit over the pink. Pink just says there's a trace of ketones being dumped. So in that moderate to strong level means you're really in that therapeutic level where you're burning fat for fuel. If you're checking your blood ketone level, again, it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Anything over 0.5 to 1 says, yes, you're burning fat for fuel. Yes, you're in ketosis, but that fat burning level can be, again, it varies from person to person. So it's a little bit different for each person. It can be somewhere in between, 1.5 to anywhere to 2.5 to 3.0 for people. You could actually wake up and be in ketosis at 1.0 and then go for a workout, drink some ketones, and you could pop up to 3.0, which could facilitate that fat burning for you, but that may be a different person, could be at 3.2, and that could be a different level for them. So it will vary from person to person. You can actually Google the data and research, and you can find there are some standard numbers for people, but it will vary from day to day throughout the time, especially as you drink your ketones. Your body uses up the ketones. If you're not on a ketogenic diet, as your body uses these, you'll go out of ketosis, and then if you want to be back in ketosis, that would be the time to have a second serving of ketones. As you increase your activity level, that will also increase the therapeutic level of ketones, because it'll actually facilitate the cells taking up the ketones and using them and immobilizing the fat. So great question. I have another question here. What is the Reboot? Great question. Since we just completed that, we had tens of thousands of people around the world completing our 60-hour keto Reboot system. This is a supplemented fasting system, which means we have nutrients that we provide each and every day. You drink 2 packages of ketones. You have 2 bone broths that have different nutrients in there, from hyaluronic acid to type 2 collagen to vitamin D to other vitamins and nutrients. Plus we have our C-Med, which is our DNA DNA repair, plus our Signal OS, which actually helps your body, some different types of minerals and herbs to help your body wake up and repair. Also, you have a Signal OS or PM that you take at night to help your brain really rest, repair, and restore and rejuvenate overnight to help repair that DNA in your brain. So it's an entire system that you use. It is meant to be a 60-hour system. However, we know fasting is a muscle that you have to develop. So we have a good, better, best system within this system, so you can actually participate at a 24-hour or a 30-hour, 36-hour, 48-hour, up to 60-hour level, whichever one works for you, but it's the best way to optimize human performance. We do suggest that you do this once every 3 to 4 to 5 weeks, depending on what your health goals are. Always check with your healthcare provider before doing any type of system where you're rebooting or fasting or abstaining from food. It is not intended for anyone who is underneath the age of 18, anyone who is expecting a child or is trying to actually conceive a child or is breastfeeding. We do not want you calorie reducing, but it is our human optimization program. You can find more information on our YouTube channel, on Pruvit TV, or the person who invited you to this channel can absolutely share more information about our amazing Reboot system. You can check it out in the store until today. We also have an amazing, I'm glad you brought this up, we have an amazing also 24 fast system, which we recommend every single week. We do as a group, as a community, every Sunday to Monday. It's called 24 fast. It is kind of a mini version of the 60-hour Reboot. So if you've never fasted before, I would suggest starting with the 24 fast. We have on our 10 days or 12 days a special. Day 10 today is buy 4, get 1 free. And again, it's a mini version of the Reboot. It has the ketones, it has the broth in there, it has the Mitoplex, which is our upgrade electrolytes, plus our Signal OS, which is our DNA repair in there. We do coaching through there, so you can choose to do it any day of the week, but as a community, we actually kick off and start our week to reset our sugar cravings, to downregulate our blood sugar, to actually help put your mindset in the right place, also to give your nervous system a rest, just to really charge into the week starting forward. It is called 24 fast. You can see we have everything outlined of what to take and when to take it. You do not consume food while you're doing either program, because all the nutrients that you need is in the box. You simply just add water. So that is buy 4, get 1 free, plus you get 2 of our free trial packs along with that to share the conversation. Let me see it. And congratulations to everyone who completed the 10-day challenge. Margaret Ann completed her 12th Reboot. Debbie from Arkansas just did her 60-hour. Congratulations to you. Andrea, big congrats to you on your Reboot. It's so exciting to see everyone from around the world watching. Yes, you can absolutely share this. Hit that share button. You can share it to your own Facebook page. You can share it through Messenger. You can share it to a group. Absolutely meant to be educational, to share this information. Dorothy, I'm not quite understanding your question there, so I will do my very best to answer everyone's question as best as possible. Barb, there is no uric acid in the products. Uric acid generally comes from when your body breaks down protein. So BUN is your blood uric acid, or your BUN. You can find that generally on a comprehensive metabolic panel. That is actually an enzyme secreted by your liver when it breaks down protein. So there's not any in there. We do have on our ketones, we have 9 different patents on our Keto NAT. And when you go to our packaging online, you can actually look at all of the ingredients. We are 100% transparent on what is actually in our ingredients. We are 100% gluten-free on our Keto NAT, dairy-free, soy-free, mushroom-free, nut-free. I just tore off the back of the package, but you will see that we are on the back of the package. You're going to see they're gluten-free, dairy-free, kosher certified on the salts. The lighter packages are actually the caffeine-free. If they're colored, they are charged, which means caffeine. The caffeine is not meant to be a stimulant. It's actually meant to facilitate your body uptaking the ketones, the beta-hydroxybutyrate, quicker up into the cell. So if you know maybe you've had some health challenges, you know your body runs a little bit slower, you have maybe a slower metabolic rate, you're not as active as you used to be, your body processes things a little bit slower, then oftentimes people really benefit from having the charge. Maybe you've been sensitive to caffeine in the past, past, but with the ketones, again, it's a different type of caffeine. It's not a stimulant caffeine. It's a very pure source of caffeine used to facilitate the uptake of ketones into the cells. So you notice that it uptakes in there very quickly. You'll experience a level of being in ketosis longer. So it's a different type of caffeine than you find in like a coffee. However, with that being said, the milligrams people ask, it's about the same serving as a medium serving of like Starbucks coffee or a drive-through coffee of a higher quality coffee. So that's that you can expect. So these are the exact same serving size, exact same milligram, exact same serving size. It's just different packaging. So this is one serving of Keto NAT, one serving of Keto NAT. Again, just different packaging. Great question. Congratulations. I see so many people completing their reboot. Congratulations, congratulations. So Tony's asking how much caffeine is in the regular ketones versus the black label, which is called our Unleashed. So again, this is about the same as a medium Starbucks. And so we know that the Unleashed version has about 30% more caffeine, 30% more ketones, because you want to keep that ratio the same because it's going to help facilitate the uptake of the ketones quicker into the cells. Also has more B vitamins because, you know, as ketones are a mild diuretic, you're actually going to lose those B vitamins just through the normal diuretic process. So we want to replenish what is being lost. So you're going to have more caffeine with that caffeine to ketone ratio. So approximately 30% more and more B vitamins in there as well. Again, you can just pop on and look at the label on the back when you go to the website, but approximately 30% more than you find in the Keto NAT. So great question. Lala Kalani, hopefully she's from Hawaii and I'm making an assumption, says, can you pre-mix your ketones the day before? So Kalani, what I have heard from the lab is you want to actually mix up what you can drink within a day, or sorry, within an hour. Only because if you mix this up and you leave it in your refrigerator, maybe you have some half-cut fruit that's open, maybe you have some veggies, maybe you have some dairy containers that may be opened up. You know, dairy actually grows mold spores every hour that's in your refrigerator, and you can get contaminants in there. So just to keep it fresh as possible, to actually get the most out of your ketone sample, your ketone pack, we always recommend mix up and drink what you can drink within an hour. So just mix it up right before you drink it. It's so simple and so easy to mix up. Just grab a water bottle, take your package, rip off the top, pour it in there, shake it. It shouldn't take you more than 10 or 15 seconds to mix. So just mix up what you can drink within an hour. Now, if you know you're just starting off and you're beginning, maybe get the Keto Light, which is just about a half a serving, which you can see parent approved, or just you can get the container, which is called a KA, and the tub, or just simply tear open, do just a half a pack, and then you can fold that under and just maybe do a half a pack with half the amount of water if you're just starting out. So you don't want to do a half this and then leave it in the refrigerator overnight, just because again, you want to get the most amount of your ketones possible. Well, congratulations, Kat Roberts. She managed to do every reboot with this community this year, plus a few extra on her own. So give Kat a bunch of thumbs up and a bunch of hearts. Congratulations. So Daniela, great question. Daniela Alexander says, if you take ketones and you have a meal and it has carbs, what is your body going to do with the energy? So I love this question. We get it quite often, but it is one to kind of wrap your head around. So I'll try to explain the science very simply. If I had a meal right here, let's say this is a piece of toast with tuna on it, and I have my ketones right here. If I'm taking a drink of my ketones and I'm taking a bite of my tuna toast or my avocado toast, whatever you want to say, this has to go through the entire digestive process. I have to secrete enzymes. My stomach has to dump enzymes. If my gallbladder has to come in play, my liver has to come in play, break everything down. Then my small intestine has to absorb it. Then it has to dump into the bloodstream. Then the nutrients can be absorbed. That can take some time. Where my ketones, I take a drink, or if I'm going to drink my Mexican ketones that are free cell technology, I mix this up, I shake it up and mix it up. It is into my cell for energy just within minutes. Within minutes, less than 5 minutes if it's a free cell technology, which is our Keto Up, our Mexican ketones, within just a few minutes if it is our Keto NAT. Now, if it is a avocado toast, if you guys are hanging with me here, or any type of food or carb meal, then it's going to take 20, 30 minutes or more to get that energy into your body. That's why we know when you eat food, your glucose will actually spike 1 to 2 hours, well, really 1 hour after you eat and be back to normal 2 hours after you eat. Where when you drink ketones, within about 20 minutes, you're going to see your ketone level spike and you're going to have energy within minutes. The free cell technology, within testing, if you drink it, you're going to see that within just minutes, anywhere 5 to 10 minutes. Some people see it within a couple minutes or feel it within a couple minutes. So when you're eating food while drinking your ketones, you're still going to get the benefits of the ketones. There's studies out there showing that when you drink exogenous ketones while eating food or having it just before you eat food, which can be very beneficial this time of year. If you know you love some of those favorite foods that your family members are going to serve you this time of year, and you just like been worked really hard to have your body composition where it needs to be and be super healthy, but you don't want to be tempted by the cookies, the cakes, the pies, those type of things. Drink your ketones 30 or 40 minutes before you go to someone's house or holiday house or before you're serving, or keep it in your hand to keep your hand full. We know ketones will help create satiety, which means that feeling of filling longer. So this is kind of a health hack this time of year until New Year's or Valentine's Day or any time of the year that you're feeling tempted. So drinking it about 30 to 40 minutes before, it will peak, and then you'll feel fuller before you go, so you're less likely to overfill your plate or go back for seconds. It also will take those cravings away for things that are sweet or salty that you normally crave. It also will downregulate your blood sugar. So if and when you do eat, studies show that your blood sugar will not peak as high. Normally, say if I eat a donut, let's say again, if I eat a donut and my blood sugar spikes to 130, studies show that if I have my exogenous ketones 45 minutes before and I eat a donut, my blood sugar may only spike to 120 instead, because it downregulates it, because my body says, oh, I already have energy from the ketones. I don't have to make as much energy, so I'm not going to dump as much insulin, so I don't get as much blood glucose that I need. So there are a lot of benefits of having the ketones before your meal or even right with your meal, because you're going to need and surge much less, and again, your body doesn't need as much, but you're still going to get the calories from that. So if you're overeating, you're still going to have that, but you're also going to have less of a surge of insulin, which can be very beneficial. You're going to get that feeling of satiety, which is feeling fuller longer, and still going to take away cravings, which can be very beneficial. And you should have less of that kind of carb brain that people call it, that kind of sugar brain that you feel when you overeat too many carbohydrates. And it should actually also aid in digestion as well. Great question, Daniela. Thank you for asking that. So Trisha Ayers, great question. Why is there salt, I'm going to call it sodium, in the ketones? Well, beta-hydroxybutyrate or ketones have a natural diuretic effect. And we know one little step of science here, when you eat a carbohydrate, your body releases insulin. It also releases insulin every single time you eat a protein. So when you're having that 16-ounce steak or an 8-ounce burger or a bucket of chicken wings, anytime you have protein or carbohydrates, you need insulin to break down and get glucose for energy. Every time insulin is released, there are a little bell signal or something signals your kidneys and says, hey, you need to release water. So that sodium is actually there to replace what is released every single time that is used. So when you're actually drinking ketones, so ketones, again, are a mild diuretic effect. So when you're drinking ketones, and people may have experienced doing the 24 fast or the reboot, you experience yourself going to the restroom more. That's because a mild diuretic effect, they're pulling toxins or pulling waste or pulling the other things out of the inner cells and in the layers in between the skin and the muscle called the interstitial layers. That's being pulled out while your body's doing a mild detoxification, or actually, again, acting as a mild diuretic. When you're losing that waste and water, you're also losing sodium, which is so important. It's responsible for over 500 enzymatic activities within your body. You're also losing B vitamins, magnesium, potassium. So in order to replace what is lost, drinking one serving of Keto NAT, the sodium is in there to replace what is lost drinking one single serving. It's also used to bind it in order for your body to break it down. So when you drink the Keto NAT, it's bound to a salt, a little bit of calcium as well. So it's bound to a mineral in order for your body to absorb it and break it down. Now we talk about, if you are worried about the sodium, then that's when you can use the Mexico ketones, which we have had on promo, on sale, also the Keto Up. They are a free cell technology. The beta-hydroxybutyrate, we have found a way to actually bind it to itself. There's no sodium in there, so it's not bound to a salt, it's not bound to an ester, it's not bound to calcium, so it's not bound to anything but itself. So it's a free cell technology, and people even discover a quicker uptake of the ketones and feel it even quicker and get in that state of ketosis much quicker and actually stay there even longer. So the salt, again, is in there to replace what is lost, so it's bound for absorption, number one. It's also there to replace what is lost for the normal diuretic process. But if you're concerned about it, since Keto NAT has come out in 2015, we have now engineered a way to create technology without it being bound to sodium, but actually binding it to itself. And in order to do that, it had to come in a liquid. With that being said, I had a single one. This is actually 4 servings. So you want to tear one off, and then you want to actually, this needs to be reconstituted with 16 to 20 ounces of water. You don't take this like just a shooter or one single serving. You need to reconstitute this with 12 to 16 ounces of water, because that's straight ketones. That would be like just having one powder package. So please mix with water, shake, shake, shake it up, and enjoy. And this is a hibiscus flavor. I saw somebody asking that. So Jen said during the reboot, she found herself having some diarrhea. What can she do in the future to help that? So this is actually very normal as people transition their diet, because carbohydrates, a lot of processed carbohydrates, if you had them in the diet before and then you stopped consuming the carbohydrates, which are stimulants for your body, and then you start putting in very clean nutrients like ketones, the body wants to get rid of them, because now your digestive system is resting. Now it has time to do some nice cleaning. We call that autophagy. So now your body's in there cleaning things out and you're visiting the restroom more. So number one, what you can do is actually reduce some of the products during the day. So if you were doing 2 ketones and 2 of the broths, then maybe just reduce it to 1 ketone and maybe 2 of the broth, or maybe 2 broth, 1 ketone. You can mix that up. Just check with on our Drink Ketone Daily page, and we're coaching in there 3 and 4 times a day. So check in with the coaches, check in with your sponsor. We have all the Q&As at the top to help answer that. You can Google search diarrhea and reboot. We help you with that. That's a very normal response for that to happen. Oftentimes, if it is a little bit, if it is maybe cumbersome to your job or to your lifestyle, we'll have you just eat a little bit of protein or fat just to slow that down and just continue on with the reboot, but just slow down the product. You continue with the electrolytes, maybe even upping the electrolytes just to help slow down the gut, can be very, very normal. And then I did have someone ask, what is the benefits of the Mexican ketones, since I brought those up? They're exactly the same as the Keto NAT. So the benefits are the same because we have the exact same bioidentical therapeutic ketone, exogenous ketone. So better energy, better brain function, better recall, satiety, which means feeling fuller longer, craving control, better digestion, calming down your nervous system, actually helps better with digestion, better hair, better nails, better skin, all the same things. When you're putting better energy into your brain and your body has better signaling connecting together. And when your brain has better signaling connecting together into your organs, your whole entire body runs much better in a much harmonious rate. So it's the same ketone in the Keto NAT that is in the Mexican ketone, so that you get the same exact benefits. Great question. So another question here, someone said, what do you drink first? Do you drink your Keto Kreme, then water, then ketones, or which do you drink first? Which is better? So this is a great question. You can drink your ketones any time of the day. You can drink your Keto Kreme any time of the day. It's up to you. So for me, I just kind of analyze how I feel. So first thing in the morning, I get up and I recommend everyone have water, because we lose a pint of water at night while we're sleeping, and we know 79% of us are dehydrated. We just talked about ketones having a mild diuretic effect, so wake up and drink water first. Then if you know that you're a person who has a hard time getting started in the morning, then you want to actually have your ketones next, because they're energy source. They help get your body going. Have your Signal OS and get your body going. If you're a person who has an easy time waking up, but you're a little bit on the hungry side and you're trying to do intermittent fasting, then you have your Keto Kreme or your coffee in 143. But your Keto Kreme isn't just for coffee. You can have it in tea, you can put it in a nut milk, you can put it in warm milk this time of year. So whether it's hemp or oat milk or almond milk or coconut milk, or you can mix it with a ketone if you want, your Keto Kreme and a ketone together. You can do half and half or a whole ketone with a little bit of Keto Kreme. You can mix and match any way you want it. So if you're a little more on the hungry side and feel like you need some satiation, that's when I have the Keto Kreme. If I'm tired, because ketones are energy, then I have my ketones. Yes, I have water in between, because they both have that diuretic, they both have that little bit of diuretic effect in them. And we know that the Keto Kreme does not have any ketones in it. However, it has 3 different MCTs, and specifically C8, the MCT or medium chain triglyceride, C8 will turn into a ketone very quickly in your liver. Your body will take that for energy and turn it into a ketone. So it's really up to you. Kind of analyze yourself. Some people are great people. They're sunshiny in the morning. They wake up super easy. Other people have a hard time getting started in the morning. So if you're a slow starter in the morning, hard time getting going, hit the alarm clock and snooze, have water, then NAT next. If you're a person who has a great time getting going in the morning, but you're a little bit hungrier and you want your intermittent fasting start a little bit later, then have your Keto Kreme next. Great question. So Tricia, the salt should not raise your blood pressure. If you can just stop this. Sorry, it's the timer. Thank you. So the sodium should not raise your blood pressure. We do have that question in the help center answering that. But again, the number one thing for blood pressure that the American Heart Association and cardiologists say is to help lower blood pressure is actually to get walking, get moving, and get hydrated. So the sodium that we have in here is not the salt, the diner salt. It's not the salt you find in processed canned food that you find in like crackers and chips and on other type of processed food. This is sodium. Sodium is again responsible for over 500 different elements and processes in your body. You know, when you, I always like to use the example when people talk about sodium is that, you know, when the ambulance comes, the first thing they do is they put a bag of sodium chloride into your body to help you recover. The first sign of dehydration is headache, muscle cramps. It can be constipation. It can be dizziness. It can be lethargic or fatigue, myalgia. Those type of things are all just people being low in sodium. So the sodium that we're talking about is really healthy sodium for your body that you find in things like celery or tomatoes. So it's healthy for your body. Or below ground vegetables have great sodium they find from the earth and the soil, not table salt that's been heated up and taken apart and degraded where there's no nutritional value, but sodium that your body needs for each and every cell. Our kidney and heart run on a sodium potassium pump, which is so essential for your body. So remember, the sodium in our Keto NAT is in here to replace what is lost through one single serving of drinking Keto NAT. It's not meant to be part of your RDA. And that was my timer that was going off. I'm always trying to answer as many questions as possible. So I love, so Hen is drinking her blueberry Keto NAT or Mitoplex. Let me see if I have a couple more questions I can help here. So great question. So Rosia Garcia is asking, are there any negative effects on your body long term? I anticipate she's saying drinking Keto NAT. So great question for us to end on. So Keto NAT is water soluble. Remember, as newborn babies, or actually in utero at about 20 weeks, babies are in ketosis. Being in ketosis is a very natural form for our bodies. Our ancestors were in ketosis all the time. They didn't have refrigeration. They didn't have 24-hour drive-through. They didn't have a la carte drive up and fill your cart full of groceries. They didn't have refrigeration. They didn't have freezers. They had to go days and sometimes weeks without having food. It's a very natural state for your body. It is actually unnatural for your body to actually digest food 24/7 because it's over arousing the nervous system. There's more nerves in the gut than the spinal cord. So with that being said, I'll try to be too sciencey, is that ketosis is a very natural state for our body to be in. Again, in utero, babies get there at about 20 weeks in the state of ketosis. As long as babies are breastfed, they're in a state of ketosis. And think about that newborn baby. It cries when it's hungry. It stops when it's full, doesn't go back for seconds. When it's happy, it's happy. It wakes up happy. When it's tired, it goes to bed when it's tired. And then when it's done sleeping, it wakes up. Think of us as adults. Sometimes people tell me, I can't tell if I'm hungry. I can't tell if I'm thirsty. I can't tell if I'm tired or if I'm hungry. I can't tell if my blood sugar's high or if it's low. I can't tell what's going on. So that's what's amazing about ketones. Ketones help reestablishing a signal within your brain between the different hormones. Hormones being not the sex hormones, but the hormones being the hunger hormones, satiety, ghrelin, leptin, the ones that say, oh, I'm hungry, oh, I'm full, the hormones between your brain and your stomach, because it takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain, oh, I'm full. Oftentimes we're too busy eating and driving. So we know that they are water soluble. When things are water soluble, that means when you mix them up and drink them, that means your body uses what it needs and then deletes out what it doesn't need. So if you're over drinking, we do recommend 1 serving a day for therapeutic, 2 servings a day for optimal performance. But we know there are some provers out there who drink 3 and 4 days. They love the taste, the flavor, but make sure you're drinking enough water to make sure you don't get dehydrated. But your body simply eliminates out what it doesn't need. So things like water are water soluble, vitamin C, all the B vitamins are water soluble. When things are fat soluble, like vitamin A, E, D, and K, and fish oils, those things are fat soluble. Those can get get stored in the body. When things get stored in the body, they can get toxic. When things are water soluble, they simply get deleted out. That's why when you drink your Keto OS, so when I drink my ketones today, if I'm not naturally in a state of ketosis, this will actually remain in my body, and I'll be in a state of ketosis anywhere from 4 to 6+ hours. Now, if I check my ketones tomorrow and I don't drink any ketones tonight, which I usually drink before I go to bed, I'll check my ketone levels. I should not be in a state of ketosis. Drinking them today, this will not last me tomorrow because my cells will use it up over the next several hours. So if I want to remain in ketosis, I need to have another serving in the afternoon to stay in ketosis. So there is not a negative effect that we have found over millions of servings over the last several years. We haven't found any negative effect. The only condition that people experience is a mild state of dehydration. I know I answered that in a long round, but we have not found any negative effects or long-term effects using exogenous ketones because, again, ours are bioidentical to what your body makes and they're water soluble. So your body just eliminates out what it does not need. So Maria Rivera, all the products do not put you in ketosis because the Mitoplex are electrolytes. They don't have any ketones in them. Our Keto Kreme doesn't have any ketones in them. However, you can take the C8. Your body can make ketones out of that. The same with our 143, which is our amazing blend of MCT oils. It does have a blend of MCTs. Your body can make ketones out of that, but it does not have straight beta-hydroxybutyrate in it. The ones that have straight beta-hydroxybutyrate is our ketones, is our broth. Our Better Broth has ketones in it. Our Keto Pro has ketones in it. Our Unleashed version and our Mexico version. So those all have ketones in them, and they all put you in a state of ketosis. But you need to make sure that you drink them within 20 or 30 minutes. If you take one serving and you mix it with a gallon of water and you drink it over 4 or 5 hours, you still get the benefits of the ketones. However, your body will absorb them so slow that you may never spike in that level or show that level of ketosis. However, you are getting all the benefits of being in ketosis. So I hope I helped answer as many questions as possible today. Know that we have the last several years of ketosis. Reading more questions. We have the last several years of Facebook Live, so you can go up and you can actually use a search bar. You can look at in the video section, see all the past Facebook Lives to help answer your questions. In case we didn't get your questions answered, keep your notifications on for this page because each and every Wednesday we do have a Facebook Live here to help answer all your questions. You can also get back with a person who invited you to this page, and they can help you find your question if it did not get answered either on our Pruvit TV or our Facebook channel, or again on our amazing webpage to help get those questions answered for you. Again, my name is Dr. Heather Carden. I'm coming to you live from Kansas City. I'm the co-owner of Carden Center for Wellness. I want to thank you again for joining me today and giving me an opportunity to help you understand more about ketones, ketosis, and all things Pruvit. Don't forget, it is on our 10th day of 12 days of Christmas. Buy 4, get 1 free on our 24 fast. Plus, you get 2 of our free trial packs that you can share with your friends or family members. So thanks again for joining me. Have an amazing day. And don't forget to hit that share button and share this with all your friends and family. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.